she was over there pushing on me physically, hitting me and everything for about 20 to 30 minutes prior to me actually reacting. And then when I did, it was defending myself. And the video that they have.
Enjoy the video. Hit the like button.
Raise your right hands. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help the Lord?
I do.
I do.
Okay. Now, this hearing is a hybrid hearing. Hybrid means that we have one participant who has the right to appear in person. This is the new law that came into effect January 1st. And then you have other participants in this hearing who are appearing remotely, and you do also have that opportunity to appear remotely. All of my hearings at this point forward, especially eviction suits, will be hybrid hearings in nature. As stated before, representing Riverside is Dezina Green. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. We're going to start with the first case, and that's going to be the young lady that is appearing in person. Seeing that both cases involve an altercation, there's no need to separate the cases. And so, Ms. Green, whenever you're presenting the case, you're going to be presenting them against both. I assume both parties were participating in this fight. Is that correct?
Correct.
I did review the video that you provided to me. I am not going to show this video to the public because of the nudity involved in that particular video. But I did review the video pertaining to this particular complaint that you filed against both defendants. The tenant that is here in person, Ms. Templar Sloyd, you are residing at 1774B Donna Circle, Waco, Texas 674. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
The other tenant and defendant, you, Ms. King, you reside at 1774A Dallas Circle, Waco, Texas 76704. Is that correct, Ms. King?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so again, Ms. Green, whenever you're presenting the case, you're going to be presenting against both. And so we'll start out by giving you the opportunity to speak first. You're going to present the cases against both defendants. While Ms. Green is speaking, I'm going to ask that you, Ms. Lloyd, and you, Ms. King, refrain from interrupting her while she's presenting the case against you. And then afterwards, I'm going to give both of you the opportunity to defend yourself. Starting with you, Ms. Lloyd, you're going to get the opportunity to speak first to defend yourself. And then afterwards, you, Ms. King, you'll get the opportunity to defend yourself. And so how this thing is going to go is Ms. Green, it's her job to provide proof to me that y'all, the defendants, broke your lease by fighting on the property. That's going to be Ms. Green's job. Ms. Green knows it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And afterwards, it's going to be you, the defendant's job to prove to me that you should not be evicted based on the complaint of fighting on the property. So that's kind of how the case is going to go. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Any questions before we move on?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Green, proceed with the case against the defendants.
Yes, sir. On the day of October the 10th is the day that I actually sent out the notices to vacate due to the video footage that we had of both residents having a fight on the property. Ms. Lloyd has actually spoke with us, and she understands that, you know, the consequences of her fighting on the property. I've also spoke with Ms. King, and Ms. King wanted to make me be aware that she actually wasn't fighting on the property. She was trying to break up the fight. So I couldn't make the judgment call in it. I had to send that video footage to my regional manager and head office, and they determined that she shouldn't have been involved around the whole scale of it, and that I should actually proceed with the eviction for both residents. It actually was 3 residents that were involved, but one of the other residents, the third party that was involved, she actually obeyed the notice to vacate and went ahead and moved because she was the one that actually was in the nudity, the one that was nude. So she went ahead and she moved. So I just have these two residents that we're actually going to court for. In both of their house rules, which I provided that to you, it states that, termination comes with any violent act that was on the property. So the video kind of speaks for itself.
Okay, so I did review the video, and as you mentioned before, there were three people that were involved in the video. The one person that where the nudity was involved, she actually took heed to the notice and she moved out. Now,
Yes.
the two that were involved, one person was pulling, looks like from one side, and the other person was actually still fighting. So,
Correct.
explain, who was the one that was doing the pulling and who was the one that was actually doing the fighting? I'm just trying to figure this.
Yes, sir. Ms. Lloyd was the one that was actually doing the fighting, and Ms. King was the one that was doing the pulling in the video.
Okay. And so Ms. King was trying to pull the young lady that in the middle from the actual altercation.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So did, based on your investigation, did they tell you how this thing started?
Yes, I spoke with all three residents. The young lady that was the third party, they were all drinking for, I guess it was Miss King's birthday, the one that was doing the pulling. It was her birthday. All three residents were drinking, and the young lady, the third party person, and Miss Lloyd, from my understanding, start having an altercation behind Miss Lloyd's daughter. And that's when they begin to fight, and Miss Lloyd's daughter jumped in the fight as well. And then that's when Miss King became involved.
Okay. And so what you're
So
saying is that instead of Miss King getting into the altercation, her job was to call 911 and allow this thing to just fan out.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Because I don't have an issue with my residents having guests and interacting with each other. And it's one thing to do it outside publicly. It's another thing for it to be inside your residence, for them to, interact with each other inside their residence. They were hanging outside, which, as you can see, there were multiple people involved because of them hanging outside, being outside, and that causes, and that's what I try to make most of my residents understand, that causes a problem in itself. When you're hanging out on your porch, you tend to have more people that is not residents come and hang out with you, and then it starts to evolve into something more than just the three residents, drinking and enjoying each other's company. At that point, it tends to turn into a bigger situation, as you could see.
All right. So you gave the notice to vacate. How did you give them a notice to vacate?
I actually sent two notices. I had, because of the past, I've had maintenance post one, and they stated that both residents were there. So they put one in both of those residents' hands because they both came into the office immediately after we gave it to them.
Okay. So it's personally delivered to the tenants
Yes.
by your maintenance personnel.
Yes. Yes, sir.
This was a 3-day notice to vacate?
No. It actually was a 30-day notice. We actually gave them a 30-day notice.
Okay, so they had a little more time than your
Yes.
contract actually allows. You actually gave them 30 days to move out.
Yes, sir. So they were supposed to vacate the premises, I think November 10th was their date.
I don't see a copy of the notice to vacate. In your files. Or at least not. I see the lease, military.
All of that should have been together. I can email the copy over. I apologize. I was actually on vacation when those were submitted, but I have them.
So you do have a copy of the notice of vacating. You said it
Yes,
was
sir.
personally delivered to the tenants.
Yes.
And on October 15th, 2025.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let me start with you, Miss Lloyd. You, the complainant that you were the aggressor in this right here. Tell me why you feel like you should not be evicted from Riverside Apartments. Go ahead.
Well, the night that we're talking about, we were drinking together, not even together, me and the other person. I was over at her apartment, which is an apartment in the back of there, and she and I were drinking. And then I went back to my apartment to go to sleep because I had to get ready for work. And when I was at home, she came around there to the front to be drinking with Miss King, and they was on the front porch. So when I came outside, I told my daughter to go in the house because she was too loud. I mean, if she was outside with grown people, she didn't go in the house. So me and the other young lady got into like had words. She's telling me, "Don't worry about my child. She all right? She good." Da, 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 da. So whenever we had our altercation, she was over there pushing on me physically, hitting me and everything for about 20 to 30 minutes prior to me actually reacting. And then when I did, it defended myself. And the video that they have on file is at the end of it when she hit me when I was just walking by. And that's how we actually physically started actually fighting after she grabbed my hair and hit me when I was walking by. And that's how my daughter jumped in because she hit me and grabbed me and started doing that. And the person pulling my daughter away by her hair is Miss King. Okay, so after all of that go on, I leave and go to work. I had to be work at 1. I get back in the morning. We go to the office, and they said that a few days later, we go to the office, and they say that I was going to be getting in trouble not only for the fight or whatever in the front, but this is the girl that just come around to my house, to my door, constantly messing with me, put her hands on me and everything. So I mean, I didn't know how long I'm supposed to take that. Yeah, I was like, I was trying to get in my car. She kept pushing my door like on me physically, and she ended up actually hitting me. Like more than once. And then so over a period of time, 20, 30 minutes of me constantly trying to get her away from me. I even attempted to get in my car and leave. So I'm doing everything, and this is right in front of my apartment door. So I'm like, I don't know how I can be avoiding somebody that's right there in front of my apartment door and in front of my car, walking like pacing, I move and doing all this and everything, going back and forth. So as far as what happened after I went to work, it was a whole nother altercation that went on in the backyard, in the back of the apartments that they did in video. That was a lot larger. It was throwing bottles and doing all kind of stuff. They didn't mention nothing about that right now. So I was like, that, and I'm not understanding. I don't even know all the details myself. I just know that I was at home and I ended up defending myself, and now I'm getting evicted.
Okay, so I want to make sure I got it. I'm hearing you correct. You all were drinking. It was
earlier that day, yeah.
Earlier that day,
Sure.
y'all were drinking.
But it wasn't together though, like they're saying. We weren't together.
So before you went to work, you drinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to make sure we're clear on that.
No, before early in the day I was drinking. I went home and went to sleep and get ready for work. Yeah.
All right, so you were drinking that day. You and someone else. Not
her.
Parties that are
No, me and the other girl that was physically fighting.
Physically fighting. Okay, you and the other young lady that were physically fighting, y'all were actually drinking together. Where were y'all drinking?
Over her house.
Over to her apartment. And does she stay?
She stays behind
74.
Yes.
Where does she stay?
Behind my
Okay,
building.
behind yours. Okay. So 17. So it's I'm trying to figure. I call it Trimwood.
Mhm.
So is this, before the playground, like your?
Oh, so if I were to walk out my back door, I walk to like the office building is right in between there, and it's the playground. Yeah, and the playground is right there, and then there's her back door right there,
Okay, so it's pretty much the
directly down the sidewalk, straight
directly down
across.
south. Okay, so you got your apartment. Right behind your apartment is the office building, the laundromat and everything else.
Yeah.
No basketball court.
Mhm.
So that's where the other altercation occurred, where the bottles and everything were thrown in. Okay, but where the video shows in front of your apartment, so you all were drinking in front of your apartment. You and the person.
No, I was already at home in the house sleep.
But who were you drinking with initially?
Initially, earlier that day, we was at her apartment in the back earlier that day. Mhm.
All right, y'all were at her apartment in the back.
Yes,
You and this other young lady were drinking.
Mhm.
All right, just
regular, just chilling. Yeah,
All right, just chill.
sure.
So tell me, so after you and this young lady at her apartment, you all were drinking, right? Then how did it eventually end up in front of your apartment? Because what you're telling me is that you all were in someone else's apartment
Mhm.
first.
Yeah,
And then somehow you said that you went home to
I did.
get ready to go to bed, and you
Mhm.
saw your daughter out there.
no, I went home and went to sleep.
You
I went
went
home and
to
went to sleep.
You went home, went to sleep.
Mhm.
So did you go to the front door or the back?
The back door.
So you went to the back door of your apartment
Mhm.
to go to sleep. So you didn't know nothing was going on in front of your apartment.
It shouldn't have been. She just was right there at the back apartment with me. It wasn't nothing going on in the front yet.
Okay, nothing was going on in the
No,
front.
wasn't nobody up there at all.
So you left about
Mhm.
the time.
I usually try and lay down about 7. It was about 7. No, 7 p.m. I have to be at work at 1 a.m. and work
Okay,
overnight.
so 7 p.m.
Mhm.
You left your former friend's house.
Mhm.
You left her. She didn't go with you. She stayed at her.
No, she stayed there at her
All right.
apartment.
So you
To my knowledge.
You go home.
Mhm.
Take you a nap. How long of a nap did you take?
I woke up about 11:30.
So you woke up, got a good 3 hours in.
Yeah.
Right. Had something to drink. Now it's time to lay it down before you get ready to go to work.
Mhm.
All right. So when did you realize your daughter was outside? After you woke up?
No, when I was in the house sleep, I could hear her outside talking, and that's why I mainly got up because I'm like, you outside with these out here with everybody like,
Okay.
and you know, go in the house. She's 16.
16 years old. Okay, so she's out there. Now, apparently they must have been giving her something to drink too, because she's out there.
I don't know. I just know it's 11:30. I don't think so.
11:30 at nighttime.
Cause I don't think so, but
Okay.
cause I don't think so though.
They out there. Your daughter's out there with. They talking loud, having fun.
Yeah, she just was out there. I don't think she was involved in nothing though.
So, long story short, that's when you go outside. Tell your
Walking
daughter
to
she
my
needs
car.
come inside.
Yeah, I was gonna go to the store, so I'm walking to the car. I'm like, Kenzie, you need to go in the house. You outside with grown people. You don't got no reason about her. It's late. It's almost time for me to go to work. Go in the house.
Okay.
And that's when she jumped in the comment saying, "Oh, don't worry about her. She all right.
Okay.
She good," and telling me to go on. Yeah, she telling me to go on. Girl, go on. She good. She good.
Yeah, you didn't like them because it felt like you was disrespecting your.
Well, I was like, girl, leave me alone. So that wasn't. I really wasn't even that I don't like it. She got mad. She got mad and started yelling and cussing at me with her door in the hand, pushing the door, and started like she was literally the one. So that's the reason why I'm saying something. They said I'm the aggressor. I certainly was not the aggressor. I'm a person that'll be honest about what occurred, but I wasn't the aggressor. Oh,
Video, you get better. That's what's it.
oh, that's why I didn't say nothing.
Yeah, that's.
You're supposed to laugh.
So, all right. So here's the thing. Woke up right around 11:30.
Mm-hmm.
The lot of loud noise. You were going to go to the store,
Mm-hmm.
but in the process of going to the store, you told your daughter to go in the house,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when you and your former friend started getting it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. And then you said she was aggressive towards you for about 30 minutes.
About 20 to 30 minutes
20, 30
because
she was pushing them for the whole night. Trying to walk away.
I tried to get in the car. She pushing the car door, push it on me.
Video didn't catch nothing.
No, they didn't record none of that.
They didn't record.
Nothing.
So what time did you even?
I got to work. I actually got there on time. So
Time you supposed
I have to be at work by 1:17.
1:17. Got there at 1:17. So between 11:30 and 1:17, did you ever make it to the store?
No.
Okay, you never made it to the store.
Nope, I never even could get in my car.
So between 11:30 and 1:17 to get involved in an altercation. Well, I actually about midnight because you said she was
Yeah, so it's
messing with you.
Yeah, it was a little while.
And you work at the
Pilgrim's Pride.
Okay. So you're able to recover the whole 9 yards and make it to work on time at 1:17.
That was crazy.
Okay. All right. Let me hear from Miss King. Miss King,
Yes.
I've heard one version of the story. Tell me your version.
Okay, so we was all at home. Me and my kids, we was at home. It was my birthday like weekend. I had went out and everything for my birthday, but something had happened at the club. Nothing that have nothing to do with this. So we had came home and I told my kids, I said, okay, well, I'll just be home with y'all. We'll just find us something to do. That's what we did. Came in the house, I took my shower and everything. Made sure my kids was good. Secured my little baby. I have an 8-year-old. I secured her. Made sure she was good. Made sure everybody was good in the house and everything. Yes, we was drinking. But when we was drinking, drinks and stuff in the house, pulled a cup, went back outside, sat on the porch. Shantia, well, the third person, walked over here. Tempers went in her house. The third person walked over and she said, "Can I come?" I said, "If you gonna come over here, don't come over here with no drama because we already know how you is. We already know how you do when you drink. You likes to argue. You likes to make a loud scene, this and that." I said, "Because everybody's over here chilling and relaxing. Everybody's just over here. We was all just on the porch, just chit chatting. Really, everybody's just getting along with everybody, sitting on the porch." Okay, so Miss Lord came outside. She told her I was across the street talking to another tenant that's there over here, just chit chatting with her on the porch and everything, talking to her. I look across the street. The girl that was across the street stayed right across from me. It was the other person that didn't have nothing to do with it. But you know, when you arguing and stuff, everybody gonna come out with their phones and stuff. So she recording. She's on live. She recording. Well, Temperance was telling her daughter to go in the house. She said, "Well, you need to go in the house because you're sitting around nothing but grown folks." No one else said nothing but the third party. She whatever she said to her, she kept walking up on her. Everything. Me and my kids still just sitting on the porch. We just looking. She kept walking up to us. So I told the third party, I said, "Well, how about you just get your kids and you just go to the house?" She snapped on me. I didn't say nothing. I walked back across the street. As soon as I walked back across the street, I looked across the street. They fighting. Because Temperance told her daughter she had to go in the house. Temperance daughter started getting fly with her. Temperance was like, "Well, you know something? I'm not gonna argue with you, but you is my child. I'm your mama. If I tell you to do something, you need to do it." She said, "You just need to stay out of it." That's what she was telling the third party. Just stay out of it. Just don't say nothing. Well, the third party kept walking up on her. Kept walking up on her. And then actually, those videos, me, our manager over here, I sent the live and the video that was sent to me. I sent both of those videos because it shows where she walked up on Miss Lord. It showed where she lynched the chair in Miss Lord. It showed where she was up Miss Lord car and she just kept shutting Miss Lord door, kept shutting Miss Lord door. So when they got on the sidewalk and they started fighting, only thing I did, I pulled the fight. I pulled her daughter out because I was telling her, "Get out the fight. That's your mom. That's your mom and her. Just get out the fight." But they said I was in the fight because I pulled her by her hair when I was putting her by her hair. But when Miss Green, when our manager called us to the office, I explained everything to her. Like I told, I never was in the fight, but I understand where they coming from. Like they say, stay out of it. Call the police. Actually, the police was called. We had to write a police report on the third party. We had to write a police report on her because every time the police was called, she'll go home. But soon as the police leave her and another one of her homegirls, I walk back around here to the front, just sitting there. So I said, "I'm not gonna argue with you. I'm not about to do this with you because, like I told our manager, I was homeless for 4 years with my kids, had nowhere to go. End up getting approved over here, been out the way and everything because, like I told my kids, it's hard out here. If we get put out, we're gonna start over. I don't know where we're gonna go because I don't have no family out here. I can't go stay with my sister. I can't go stay with my granny. I let the manager know that at all times. I let her know that. But when that third party kept walking over here, Police came. Police went back there and talked to her. The other police came back up here. He said, "Well, how about this? Y'all not doing nothing on the front porch. Y'all see y'all just sitting here. I see y'all just enjoying yourself." I said, "Yes." I said, "But the only thing about it, when y'all leave from over here, she's going to walk back around this corner." Oh, she came back around this corner with another person, her baby daddy. Her baby daddy pulled up in the car. Um, Another person pulled up in the car, her sister. It was a lot of them pulled up in the car. Told my kids, I said, "Y'all know something? We just gonna sit right here on this porch. Don't say nothing to her." She walked up to me and told me I was wrong for not helping her fight because they jumped her. I told her I'm gonna get in that. I said, because you didn't even have to get in when Miss Lloyd was telling you to let her talk to her daughter. That's her daughter. If she tell her daughter go in the house, tell her daughter go in the house. Because if I tell my kids go in the house, it's my kids going in the house. You shouldn't have to say nothing. Then when you said something, you walked up to her and you hit her. That's how y'all started fighting. So Miss Lloyd, she called the police the first time. When Miss Lloyd left, her daughter came back outside. She said right here, I looked at her daughter and I said, "Your mama wants you to go in the house." She knows how kids talk. She got to talking, talking, talking. I was like, "Well, yep. Your mom wants you to go in the house because it's nothing but adults out here. You're 16. She don't want you to be outside with us." So she was like, she grown. Her mama can't tell her nothing, this and this, this and this. Well, it was someone that Miss Lloyd was talking to. It was a dude that Miss Lloyd was talking to. And he had told her, he was like, "Well, to Kings, just go in the house. Your mama asked you to go in the house. You wait until your mama leave to come back outside." She got to talking. The third party walked back around here. She went and changed into another dress. She walked back around here. I was all types of B's and H's and this and this. "You supposed to be my friend. You let them jump me. Why you didn't jump in?" I told you I wasn't jumping in. You didn't have to say nothing. When we told you to get your babies and just go home, you had your baby in your arm, holding your other two kids' hand. After that, you let their hands go. You picked up the chair that was sitting on the porch and you threw it at Miss Lloyd. Like you threw that chair at Miss Lloyd, and then you jumped back off the porch and you just kept shoving the door. When her brother came around here, the third person brother came around here. Me and my kids were sitting on the porch. He said, "Can his sister get his round? Can his sister get her round?" Everybody's just looking. She started pointing at Temperance. She started pointing at my boys. And I said, "No, my boys didn't even have nothing to do with it. My kids didn't even touch you. You bringing your brother back over here for some mess to get started for no reason. You lying to your brother saying that everybody. My kids never touched you. They never even got up in it. My kids just looked at you and said, when she drink, she just a whole nother person." I said, "I know. And that's why she should have stayed on her side in the back." But her brother came, asked Temperance, can his sister get his sister get her round? And it was Temperance' daughter still outside. Temperance was telling her daughter to hush, shut up, go in the house, go in the house, go in the house. It's grown ups. So Temperance got on the phone and called the police. When she called the police, 3 police officers came over here. When they came over here, they asked what was going on. She had walked back to her apartment. She was sitting on her back porch. They seen her when she walked to her apartment in the back on the back porch. They went back there to go talk to her. They came back up here and they talked to us. And they just said, "If she come back around here, can y'all please just give us a call?" That's what we did. That third time when they came out here, they asked, can we write statements on her? I wrote a statement on her. It was a girl named Tay. She wrote a statement on her, and it was someone else. It was 3 statements written on her because the police officer said, "We can tell she's going to come back over here and she's going to start." I said, "Yes." I said, "We can't even sit outside on the porch and just sit here." The police officer said, "Yeah, I'm riding back and forth over here. I see y'all just sitting on the porch and everything." I said, "Yeah." I said, "But as soon as y'all leave, she's going to come back around this corner. And when she come back around this corner, she's still going to be up on one. She's still going to want to fight and everything." And that's what she did. But she just kept coming after me. After Miss Lloyd had left and went to work, I told her daughter to go in the house. Her daughter never went in the house. So her daughter was still sitting outside on the porch. After Miss Lloyd went to work, the girl just kept coming after me. I said, "I'm not going to fight you," because like I told her, I don't want to get put out. I have nowhere to go. She was like, "Yeah, I got somewhere to go. This and this. You low down. This and this. You wrong for not helping me." What I'm helping you fight for when you should have stayed out of someone else's business when someone is talking to their child? If she told her child to go in the house, you didn't have to say nothing. You know, if y'all is cousins or whatever, that don't mean put yourself in her place and say, "Oh, my cousin can stay outside. She ain't got to go up in the goddamn house, this and this." And our Tempers was telling her, "Chantel, this is my daughter. If I tell her to go in the house, I want her to go in the house. It's nothing but grown folks around here. It's nothing but grown folks around here. That's all." That was it. She came around here when the police came back that third time. They asked us, can we write a statement? And that's what we did. I wrote my statement, and like I told the police, it's going to get to the office. I'm going to get called to the office. And the police officer said, okay. It was 3 police officers, 2 men and 1 woman. At first, she went back there and she went open up the door. So we pointed directly to her apartment, and I told them she stays right here. But can y'all please just go over there and talk to her and ask her just not to come back around here. As soon as they left, she came back around here. She tired. She went and changed into something else, and she walked around here with her baby daddy, a tenant that stay on the other side over here. And all I did was tell the woman, I said, can you please get her and take her home? She said, I can't get her when she acting like this and she drunk. That was it. So I told my kids, you know something, how about this? We just go up in the house. We just come on up in this house because she going to keep coming around here and she going to keep on going and going and going. And I already know, next thing you know, the next morning, got a knock on the door. The manager wanted to see us in the office. And she asked us, can we tell her about what, do I want to tell her what happened that night? And I told her.
Yeah, it was a lot that night.
It's a lot.
Can I
Miss
say
Lane,
one more thing?
very
One
quick.
thing. Miss I did, I don't know if I did mention, but Miss King didn't I mean, not to my knowledge, she never actually, I know you're not supposed to like be in people's business, but she didn't physically, I didn't know nothing about her hitting nobody, so I really didn't know why she was the one to be getting in trouble. I understand I did get in trouble. Even if the girl provoked me, I still technically violated the thing, but
So,
she didn't.
Miss Green,
Yes,
uh,
sir.
with regards to your rules, um, is it like a zero tolerance when it comes to this property, regardless if you're
Yeah.
accept or not?
Yes, sir. It is zero tolerance. Also, I wanted to just actually say that I'm not disputing anything that either one of these witnesses or these complaints are saying. So far as the third party person, they are both correct about the young lady that was actually a little belligerent. I do have the video of that person being belligerent, that Miss Tempers was talking about at her front door. And I addressed that with her, which was a part of her eviction process, if that makes sense, with everything that took place. She didn't contest it once she received her write-ups and her eviction notice as well, and she moved. Now, so far as everything that they're speaking of, I can't contest to everything that they're speaking of. I'm only speaking of the video footage that I actually have and the conversations that I let both of them do, just as they did with you, explain their parts. I did send all this information over to my head office, like I stated, for them to determine which direction they would prefer for me to go with it. And this is the direction that I was given at that point. Because my biggest thing is we have the city ordinance has a 10 o'clock curfew. And I stress to most of my residents that you are supposed to be in your units after 10 o'clock. When I give them their notices, you're outside, you're hanging around outside. This is when the problems occur. If you guys would have been in your units, there may not have been situations like this to occur. There is a 10 o'clock curfew for the property.
So the reason why the upper management is forced you to file the case is they were in violation of the curfew, which in turn caused.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And even if they weren't, their occupants, such as her daughter, was, and she's responsible for her daughter.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
that's something that all residents are made aware of.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Hey, one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
I called the police over and over, man. I did everything possible. Like, I'm trying to, like,
But you know, I hear you, but here's where the problem. So first of all,
So when she hit me, I was just supposed to keep letting her hit me over and over. I've been doing it 30 minutes.
Here's the thing. It's not you directly. It's your daughter that caused a lot of this.
Hmm.
What you're telling me is that you were in compliance with the curfew. You went in at 7 o'clock. After you had a couple of drinks, you were in compliance with the curfew. You woke up at 11:30, and your daughter was outside, past the curfew, engaging in unlawful activity or unauthorized activity in accordance with the curfew. You went out, confronted your daughter, which in turn led to this. But if your daughter was inside the house, like she was supposed to, by 10 o'clock, you wouldn't have been involved in that altercation yourself. That's what Miss Green is saying. And the same thing with you, Miss King. Even though y'all were hanging out, having fun, drinking, socializing, you were doing things past the curfew. And that's what led to this. That right there is that is the finalization of her case. That is the closing argument of her case. That look, if y'all would have been in compliance with the curfew, it wouldn't have been a fight. You wouldn't have had to break up the fight if you would have complied with the curfew. And the bad part about it, the curfew was put into place because of Trentwood and everything that's been going on for all of these years. And in order for them to reopen, they had to comply with the curfew, or else the city wasn't going to allow them to operate and give people a place to stay.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the thing, ladies. I have to rule in favor for the plaintiff. All right. Now, you have the right to appeal. If you choose to appeal, you have to post an appeals bond of $500. If you cannot afford the appeal bond, then I strongly encourage you to contact someone from Longstride Legal Aid. They can help you with appealing your case to the higher court. And appealing means you feel like I did not violate the curfew. I did not do anything wrong. I should not be evicted. Now, there's a deadline for you to appeal. You have 6 days from today's date to appeal, including weekends. If you do not file your appeal with me on or before that 6th day, then they can take the next legal actions, which is having the constable serve you with a 24-hour notice to move out. If you do not comply with that last final notice to move out, the constable will be back over there to act as security, and that's where the maintenance personnel will be able to safely and peacefully remove all of your personal belongings from inside of the unit and place them outside of the unit. So you do have time to appeal. If you feel like you shouldn't be evicted and shouldn't be removed, you have the right to appeal. But you have to post to the bond, post to the appeal bond, or get help from the Longstride Legal Aid to appeal. Okay. And then you can go to the county court of law, and then y'all can argue in case of the county court of law as to why you feel like you shouldn't be evicted. If prove me wrong, and you have every right to be here. Okay. So judgment in favor for the plaintiff on both cases. Court to jury. Maybe excuse.
Thank you.